cyber crime. And obviously today we are in a different Starbucks. We're in a different Starbucks today than we usually are because the Starbucks in the Mall Bancabi is now closed. We got a lot to go over today. We're going to talk about a number of things, including the fire in Pattaya, the vaping, the whole vaping thing, pollution, big deal right now, and also the police who are being charged with bribery or corruption. I don't know the exact charge right now, but we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about what the upcoming elections may mean for the cannabis industry here. Good morning, Jim. Good morning. How you doing? Sawadee Kap. We'll also talk about how happy one Vietnamese tourist is. Like I said, we're at the Lat Pral Starbucks right now. Unfortunately, the Bancapi Starbucks is closed. However, you know, I don't often go down Lat Pral because there's so much traffic, if I can help it. I go down Ramkapang, not that that's much better. Hey, Carnivore, how's it going? But this is the first time in, I don't know, a couple of weeks since I've been down Lat Pral Road, and, you know, the construction continues, and this monorail, the MRT monorail, is just about completed. It's about 98.2% complete across the board. So let me just get into a couple of things here. First of all, the Thai baht to the dollar, 33.38 baht to the dollar, so that's good. Good morning, Mr. Dallo. Temperature is a cool 77 degrees, high of 92, low of 77. The feel like is 93. 90% humidity. There's about winds to the north, 5 kilometers, so there's not a whole lot of wind. And yesterday was the first time that it's rained in I don't know how many months. It was kind of nice, although with the pollution is terrible here, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, the last I looked, the air quality index, 61. So that's moderate. Today's shout-outs go to Ralph, Mr. Ralphie S., Mr. Elaine, and also Mr. Pattaya Bob. I can't thank him enough. So I hope you are healthy and wealthy, Pattaya Bob. Now, the thing about this Lat Pral and the construction here is that this is one of the main traffic arteries in the city, and it's been murder for years. I mean, I'm talking 10 years it's been bad. It used to take me 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get to Pinklao from here. Now, even without the monorail, I don't know how that's going to affect it, but it's like down to like an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 15 minutes if there's absolutely no traffic. So hopefully this construction, all this money and construction that they're putting in will alleviate some of the congestion, not to mention some of the pollution. I have an article up on my website at americanbangkok.com, an article, and also there's links to 2 MRT videos. They are in Thai, but still you can gather a bit of information even if you don't speak Thai. The projected opening, I thought the full opening was in April of this year. It's not, it's in June of this year. At the moment, like I said, all sections of the line are more than 98% completed. Basically, what remains is the walkways. And what I was surprised to see is that many of the station, there's a station here at 101, and I'm going to try to walk down the street. It's a little ways away. Maybe it's a 20, 30 minute walk from here, but the station is pretty much done aside from the walkway, and they've got like the stairs and the escalator that goes up, although they don't have the finishing touches on everything. So I do think they'll get done on time, and that'll be a good thing, at least I believe so. There's some prefabricated concrete sections that they'll drop in, and I really hope they get it done. Now, that said, I've been saying it for a long time. I don't know that I want to continue to live in this area, and we've been looking around. My wife's constantly looking. She's always online looking for places. And the problem is that it's getting harder and harder to find good places to live. We don't want to live completely in the middle of nowhere, which we could do if we wanted down in Surat. But because of the population growth over the past decade, 2 decades, wouldn't you believe, just as you came on, the wife started mixing a cake. Can't hear a thing. I don't know that you missed all that much, but I'll be going over it anyway. So now I have to say, today is what, February 5th. Now on January 15th, 2013, I made my first YouTube video. So a couple of weeks ago I celebrated my 10th year on YouTube, and I didn't make a big deal about it. I'm not really making a big deal about it now, but you know, 10 years is 10 years. And finally, 2 days ago, or maybe a day ago, I don't know, I think it was, I can't even remember, a day or two ago, I hit 15,000 subscribers. Now I went up to 15,013 subscribers. 15,000 has been a milestone I've been trying to reach for quite some time, but I really was trying to get to it by the end of last year, and so I finally hit it. Now it went all the way up to, I think YouTube is doing a purge, they do it every so often. I hit 15,013, it went down, it went under 15,000, then it went above it again, and now it's at 14,997. You know, so it's, eventually I'll hit the 15,000. So thank you for all those who have helped me reach the 15,000 already. No matter what I can say, I've hit 15,000. So I have reached that goal, and I'm sure I will reach it again. So thank you very much. Now, one thing, listen, here's the thing right now with the pollution. Pollution is everywhere. Don't let it fool you. There's pollution all over the country, and that's why people are complaining. I don't know if anybody congratulated me. I don't know how much I said about it, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. 10 years. I made a lot of videos. My first video was made on the 15th. It was a video about Nai Mong Hoi Tod restaurant in Bangkok, and the video is still up. It was only 1 minute and 55 seconds. To date, it has a whopping 1,914 views, and it's earned me $3.46 in 10 years, so about 35 cents a year. On the 26th, though, which was 11 days after this, I uploaded a video called 12 Plus Ways to Make a Living in Thailand, and this video performed a slight bit better with 56,761 views to date. It was about little over 13 minutes, and to date it's earned $188.29. So a little bit more than that first video. So, you know, I also did a video a couple of days after that, living in Thailand with $500 a month. That was almost 18 minutes long, 70,375 views to date, and it's earned $293.99. So if you figure that out over 10 years, that works out to about $2.50 a month. So thank you. And like I said the other day, I hit the 15,000. I'm very happy about that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Andy. Now, speaking of the numbers going down, I've lost 14 kilos, which is almost 31 pounds. In the last, it's about 2 months right now. So I've lost 31 pounds in 2 months. And, granted, in the beginning, it comes off pretty easily. It doesn't come off as easily as time passes. So, a lot of that is flab. And it's been relatively easy, to be completely honest. You just cut out the sugar, you cut out the fructose, you cut out the carbs, all that. Because, I used to eat a lot of pasta, a lot of bread, sandwiches, and I've just completely cut that out. I haven't drank a soda in months. And so now I'm actually starting to see some muscles that I've forgotten about. Muscles in my stomach, muscles in my arms, and it feels good. So I'm on a little bit of a roll, and I hope I continue, but on a bit of a downer, if you will, at least that's what I'm gonna call it. The old moderator from this channel, Dennis, who I don't talk about anymore for a number of reasons, which I will not get into. Apparently he has passed away. And really, as most of you know, I do not like him. And I haven't liked him in a long time. But I will say this because I want to keep it real. I want to be honest. And the best thing that I can say is he's gone. And hopefully he's in a better place, and condolences to those people who care about him. I'm not one of them, but that doesn't matter. But I figure that, some people who have been following the channel for a long time, they know who he is. I have it on pretty good authority from someone that he did pass away. I don't know why or anything like that, and quite frankly, this is the last I'm going to talk about it. It doesn't really matter. So thank you very much, Dallo. 10 years, 15,000 subs, and the weight loss. Yeah, oh, that's too bad, Andy. That's too bad, man. As we get older, it's going to happen more frequently. I don't know if you remember, but I mentioned the other day there was a guy that is friends with Mr. Tom. I actually met him through Tom, and the guy who I was friends with, Frank, who passed away from cancer. He was a great guy. Frank was a good guy, hard-headed, like just tough guy. And all the way up until the end, he fought it. Anyway, I met a guy through them. His name was Bob, and he was very into languages in Southeast Asia. And I found out a couple of weeks ago that he passed away. So there's a lot going on, a lot of changes going on. This area is changing, the mall is changing, Thailand is changing. Change is the only constant. And, at some point we will end up pulling the trigger and moving away from here. Yeah, Andy, I don't know I never know what to say with these kind of things, but my condolences, I will say that. Yeah, I don't know, I tell you what, I'll tell you how bad the pollution is. I stayed in all day yesterday. Now, I go to get some eggs. There's no eggs left. So I'm like, I'm gonna walk down to the market. It's like a little 2-minute walk from the house. It's a little shop house. I go and get the eggs. I walk back and I go, man, I feel it in my lungs. I can taste it. It feels like you are walking behind a truck and you're breathing in the exhaust. That's how bad it is. Now, it's not that bad today, but today when I woke up, I'm like, man, my lungs they don't feel good. You know, they feel like I was exposed to a lot of pollution. Now, the good news, and I'm going to get into this in an article in a little while, but the good news is that there are some winds coming in that are supposed to clear away a lot of the pollution. I don't know how much good it's going to do, but the bottom line is we have been looking for and will continue to look for a place that suits our needs, a better place that suits our needs. We don't want to be in the middle of absolutely nowhere, but we want to be away from a lot of people. You know, we don't want to be in like a little village where we are now, you know, like right next to somebody. And it's not that our neighbors are bad. They're not all that bad. They're not bad at all. And our village is very nice. But the pollution, the traffic, the number of people, the fact that we are in the midst of a concrete jungle has gotten to be a bit too much. And we're in a position now where, you know, if it's the right place, my wife can work pretty much from anywhere. She may need to take a minivan or fly once a month or something like that and go into the office for a couple of days, but we would probably just keep the place where we are right now, and maybe Alex and Nicholas eventually would live there. So that's what's going on. Do me a favor, if you like what I've been doing, if you like the videos, if you value the content, value the channel, please click a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and look down in the description. There are a number of ways besides just watching that you can help support the channel. There's the Buy Me a Coffee, there's the Cash App for people in certain areas, there's Patreon, there's the YouTube super chats and super thanks, and there's all kinds of, there's too many ways. I wish there was just one way and everything got processed through that way. You know, you could pay with, let's say you pay with the Cash App, and then everything is funneled into Scott's payment method, and then boom. I don't know how I got paid. I don't know any of that. I just know that it came in that way. It would make things a lot easier, and maybe one day that will happen. We'll see. Now, the first news of the day is about the fire that erupted at a Pattaya condo, where hundreds were evacuated and several people were injured. Hundreds of residents had to evacuate, leaving several people injured. According to reports, the fire started in the early morning hours and quickly spread through the building, leading to a massive response from local firefighters and rescue teams. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but it is believed to have started in one of the lower floor units. Despite the efforts of the responding teams, the fire continued to spread, causing significant damage to the building. I don't know if Pattaya Bob is watching. I don't believe so, but I'd like his take on it. Yeah, thumbs up would be great. That doesn't cost you anything, you know. Several residents were reportedly injured during the evacuation, including a few who suffered from smoke inhalation. However, no fatalities were reported. Tell you what, the pollution feels a little bit like smoke inhalation. That's kind of what it feels. I can feel it in the, and it's not a good thing. And actually, after I walked outside yesterday, I'll tell you, it was so bad that by the time I got back into my house, I was like, man, I don't feel good. I feel sick. I feel like I want to throw up. And it was because of the air. That was the only thing, because I didn't feel that way before I walked outside. I was only out for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I actually contemplated wearing a mask, not because of, you know, anything else, but because of the pollution. And I didn't. That's all I'm going to say. The affected residents are being assisted by local authorities and relief organizations who are providing them with temporary housing and other necessary support. That's good. Pattaya City Administration has launched an investigation and is working to determine the best course of action for rebuilding the damaged building. Okay, now, you know, people who have been following the news from Thailand or following the channel, you know that there was a woman, a Taiwanese woman, who was stopped, shaken down for 27,000 baht, something like $840. And news came out. Not only was it because, oh, her visa was not correct, there was an error with her visa, there was a problem, which that was just rubbish, in my opinion. It came out that she had some vaping pens. And I see people all over the city with their vaping pens. Now, I'll give you my take on the vaping thing. To me, it reminds me of somebody on a crack pipe. I know it's not. I know it's not the same, but that's what it reminds me of. And I don't think people should be thrown in jail for it. I think, you know, your body, your choice, right? There doesn't need to be legislation over it. However, there is, and in Thailand it is illegal. So the fact that she got off with just a warning is she was lucky. A lot of pens are considered by some, well, the pens are considered by some to be dangerous. I don't, you know, listen, if they blow up in your face, which apparently has happened to very few people, if for whatever reason there's a mechanical error, then I understand that needs to be rectified. However, if it's just, oh, we're smoking weed and we're not using it like in the privacy of our own home with rolling papers or a bong or a pipe or whatever it is, edibles, I don't see the big deal. However, like I said, there is legislation, and I'm going to talk about that, because the Minister of Health, possibly the future Prime Minister, Anutin Charnvirakul, has stated that the legalization of electronic cigarettes in Thailand will be discussed soon. He mentioned that the ministry is now studying the matter, and the primary aim of the legalization is to create an alternate source of income for farmers in the country. It's always about the money. It's not about, hey, you know, it's an easier, more convenient, maybe safer, I don't know if it's safer or not, but maybe safer method of smoking, and there's not as much pollution. I don't know, you know, but he added that the government is considering several options, including the production and sale of e-cigarettes, with the aim of reducing production of traditional cigarettes and the resulting health risk. Oh, he's not even talking about the weed. The minister also stated that the country is seeking to regulate e-cigarettes to ensure safety for consumers. Okay. Well, you know, the thing is, I don't know what is the truth, and you know, in this day and age, that's part of the problem. In this day and age, you don't know what you can believe. It's kind of safer for the studies that show. Okay. Well, I mean, like, listen, if you smoke weed, supposedly, if you smoke weed for long enough, it's going to cause cancer as well. Thank you, 2Q Asia. You know, I'm trying to be respectful, and believe me, if I wanted to go off, I could, and I don't want to, because I don't want to go in that negative. On that negative path about him. As far as I'm concerned, you know, let's move on here. As I said, the big news of the week is the pollution, and although it is expected, the air pollution is expected to improve this week. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration reported that 43 provinces, including Bangkok and its suburbs, were covered in smog last Friday. Despite this, the air quality has improved overnight, with PM 2.5 levels now considered good or moderate. This pollution, these PM 2.5 particles, pose health risk, particularly for those with chronic lung conditions. The Thai government advised citizens to wear masks outdoors and consider remote work on Thursday and Friday. Can you imagine that? Oh, don't go to work today because there's too much pollution. That's just ridiculous. It really is. Maybe you need to figure out the source of all this pollution and then do away with that stuff and, find an alternative. I know that that's a difficult task, but it needs to be addressed. To combat this issue, this pollution issue, the Royal Thai Navy has installed 13 PM 2.5 filtration machines around Bangkok to lower the levels of fine dust. Doesn't seem like it's doing much good, at least not yet. These machines can filter most germs, bacteria, and viruses, including that pesky virus, in nearby areas within 30 minutes. Now, what I will say is when I walked outside of the mall the day before yesterday, I looked out and I went, wow, it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It looks like it's, thank you, Richard, and I completely agree. And that's, and your way of putting it is extremely kind. When I walked out, I thought to myself, it looks like it's like the sun has gone down and it's getting dark. And what it was the pollution was so bad that the sun couldn't get through. It was like it was nighttime. It was, dusk. I couldn't believe it. It's that bad. So, and really, I mean, yeah, I want to get the hell out of here. I like that I can go everywhere quickly and conveniently, at least once the monorail is done. And in my neighborhood, I can get around very easily. I know the people. Everybody's cool. I don't generally have any problems. But the pollution and just I just looked around and I thought, the way I think, and I know this may sound fatalistic, but or morbid, the way that I think about it is, if we were to get a place inside of Bangkok, and we've been looking at a couple places, like I said, one place will go up. I'll put a video up. I've been working on it. I've been working on a lot of things. I think to myself, is this the kind of area where I want to spend my last days? And the answer is no, it's not. So, but pollution has gotten so bad that several schools in the area have taken precautions, including Chulalongkorn University Demonstration Secondary School and Jindabam Ruang School, who announced closures due to concerns over the impact of air pollution on students' respiratory health. Well, good for them. In total, 376,165 people were affected by air pollution this week, with over 165,000 suffering from respiratory diseases, 80,248 from skin issues. Actually, my wife said, I'm itchy. I don't know why I'm so itchy. I itch. And I'm like, it's a pollution. Wow. Yeah, I mean, imagine someone, he doesn't smoke all his life and he's living in a place like this, or some place like Lahore in Pakistan, or New Delhi, or whatever it is, Delhi in India. And because of the pollution, it's like he's smoked 3 packs a day for his entire life. And you get that way in a matter of 10 years. It's just not good. So, yeah, the ocean is one answer. There's no burning season out by the ocean. The problem the only problem I see is maybe the costs might be a bit more, but you can get a place 15 minutes, 30 minutes away from the ocean that's reasonable, and there are places. So I think it's important, and if anybody knows anything about Thai women, if you want them to get something, you don't drill it into their head and drill it into their head and push them and push them and push them and keep saying the same thing over and over again, because all it does is irritate them. So I present the idea to my wife, I let her mull it over, and then, when she's looking around, well, maybe this city is not the answer. You kind of break it subtly, and all in all, it will work out. Gennaro, good morning. How you doing? The Ministry of Public Health has set up emergency operations centers in 14 provinces, including Bangkok and Chiang Mai, to address the issue. Winds are forecasted to disperse the smog and improve air quality in the capital on Saturday. Well, today's Sunday. It did get better yesterday, and it has gotten better today, but let's see how long it lasts. The Royal Thai Navy and the Ministry of Public Health are taking further steps to ensure citizens' health and safety in the face of air pollution. Now, of course, this has gotten political. Key Democrats claim that political maneuvering is delaying the progress of the clean air bill in Thailand, where much of the country is suffering from high levels of fine dust. Watanya Bunnag, head of the Democrat Party's Political Innovation Working Group, attributes the delay to frequent collapses of parliament meetings due to a lack of quorum caused by politicians playing games. That's not good. I don't like to hear that. Let me look at somebody's message. Lung cancer. 72 is young nowadays. This is Starbucks on Lot Prow 101. I could have went to the one in Wei Tani Hospital. However, I thought that maybe your favorite barista, Gennaro, your favorite barista might be working today, Miss Beer, but she's not. Apparently she works tomorrow, and I won't be coming here tomorrow. At least I won't be streaming from here tomorrow, unfortunately, for you. The Clean Air Bill remains stuck in Parliament waiting to be discussed. You see, this is the kind of thing where they need to go, okay, listen, I don't care where you are, you're going to have to vote on this. You may not have to be present in Bangkok, but you need to vote on this. We need to vote on this directly. But that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in America. I mean, Congress is out of session. We're gone for 14 months. We won't be working. That kind of thing. Watanya stresses that every person in the country has a right to clean air, and that the PM2.5 dust is more dangerous than a virus and has long-term health impacts. Political parties in the civic sector support the Democrat Party's clear L. It's clear or clean? I don't know which one it is, but we'll say Clean Air Bill, and Watanya calls on the government to address the suffering of the people. Now, they don't seem to grasp the concept that maybe when people hear, hey, Bangkok is now the third worst polluted city in the world, that might just affect tourism. Now, it might not affect the Chinese from coming here because their air pollution is terrible as well. But they don't seem to grasp this. And, I've gone back and forth. I talked to my buddy yesterday. I may have him on in the stream. Now, speaking of people that will be in the stream upcoming, I am testing the stream. I already did a test yesterday, and it seemed to work. The YouTube version where you can bring people in seems to be working. I've got to do one or two more tests with it before Tuesday. Then on Tuesday, I'm going to test two different methods with this guy Mark Frerick, who was kidnapped by the Taliban and who has been a member of my channel. He's been a subscriber for a long time, and he was kidnapped by the Taliban for 2.5 years. We're gonna do a test on Tuesday, and then sometime within a few days after that, we'll do a live stream, a 1-hour live stream, and I'll have him on, and he'll talk about, you know, how he came to go to Afghanistan, everything that transpired, what it was like to be captured, and also how he really truly wants to move to Thailand, and he's been wanting to come for, I don't know, 6-7 years at least. And he was getting ready to say, that's it, I'm pulling up stakes, I'm coming back, gonna come back to the States, and then I am going to move to Bangkok. However, I guess his company made him an offer that he couldn't refuse, and so subsequently he kept working, and then some things went down. Next thing you know, he's being held by the Taliban. I also have my friend who I said that I spoke with yesterday, who is a filmmaker, but he also is a resident of Ecuador. And he's been telling me literally for years, 2-3 years now. Yeah, you really need to move to Ecuador. You need to move to Ecuador. You need to move to Ecuador because the government treats you better than you are treated in Thailand. There's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't be a resident, if not a citizen by now. And you know, that is one of my that's something that sticks in my craw. I've been here this long, and it's extremely difficult to become a citizen here. It can be done, but it's much, much easier in say, Ecuador and many other places. Not just Thailand does the burning. A lot of Southeast Asia, they all contribute to, yeah. Well, it's not only Thailand, I understand, but there are things they can do for the long term that will help. And they're going to need to learn that they need to get on board with this environmental thing. And I'm not one of these tree huggers, but you need to protect the environment. And even if that means, and one thing I do is I try to never, ever pollute when it comes to, you know, you're out somewhere, you don't see a garbage can, and you've got say a plastic bottle, or you've got a food wrapper or something. You don't just throw it on the ground. Now here in Thailand, that happens all the time. In Thailand, they dump their garbage out in the back of their house or something, and they just leave it there. Next thing you know, they got, you know, monitor lizards and garbage everywhere, and that is one big complaint. If they cleaned up this area to where the klongs were much cleaner, and some of the areas would be garbage free, it would, you know, then maybe it would be a much nicer place. And I can tell you that our village is relatively clean. There are a few little areas that are not the cleanest, but okay, it's not that bad. Once you walk out of the village and walk down the street, there are some places on the way here that are just filthy, and it's uncalled for, and you know, people need to, someone, the government, whoever it is, the district needs to do something and clean it up and make the place better, make it look better, at least visually. Yeah, all these places contribute. They're all, listen, the whole world is at fault. We can blame it on Southeast Asia, but let's face it, you know, it's not just Southeast Asia, it's Asia. It's not just Asia, it's many, many other regions. Well, there's a reason why in Singapore they don't want people spitting or spitting gum on the ground, and why it carries such a hefty penalty. And that's because eventually, you know, it makes a place filthy. And the last thing I want to do is slip on somebody's spit or step in gum. I mean, I haven't done that in a while. I haven't stepped in any gum in a while, but I don't like doing that. Who does? All right, let me continue here. Former governor candidate Suchatwi Suwanasawat said PM2.5 levels in Bangkok are alarming and among the highest in the world, while the Democrat Party's policy platform includes restoring the environment in Bangkok. The Clean Air Bill aims to improve the lives of Bangkok residents by controlling vehicles entering the city and preventing irresponsible construction. So, we'll see how far that goes, but I'm not holding my breath. I came in here, there were two guys. Since I've been here, a young lady came in. And I asked, is beer working today? No. She'll be here tomorrow. Okay. That's it. You guys are the ones that care about the barista. I mean, I talk to them, and it's nice to have a little bit of a rapport with them, but, I've been to many, many Starbucks, and it's always for the same reason. It's not for the coffee. It's for the convenience, it's for the comfort, and it's for the space. People have been asking me, why don't you go to Cafe Amazon? Because they're so tiny. I mean, it's like, I would say, the Cafe Amazons near my house are about 5% the size of this place. It's just ridiculous. I don't want to do that. And I'd rather, if I'm going to do something like that, I might as well just be in my office. I might as well walk around. Now let me get to this last. Oh, there's two more. Three more? Well, there's three more. Let me get to this. This is a rather happy article. Vietnamese tourist recovers $194,000 lost watch with the help of Bangkok police. A Vietnamese tourist who lost his $194,000 Richard Mille watch in a taxi in Bangkok, Thailand, was able to recover it with the help of the police. The tourist noticed the watch was missing after arriving at his hotel and immediately went to the Lumpini police station. Using CCTV footage, the police were able to identify the taxi driver who had found the watch and that was left by a subsequent passenger. The driver had intended to turn the watch into the police, but officers were able to reach him before he had the chance. The tourist was grateful to both the police officers and the honest taxi driver for returning the luxurious watch. So, all's well that ends well. I've forgotten a couple of phones. Maybe 3 times I've forgotten my phones over 30 years. And I think 2 of them have been returned. And one of them was not an expensive one. So, yeah, well, I mean, listen, it's all relative. That guy, his wife might have given that to him for their 25th wedding anniversary or something, Yeah, I mean, if I lost my phone, let's face it, I'd love to get a brand new iPhone 14 and, do all that, and have the latest version. I can't afford to do it, especially every single time they update. It's too much money. I'm telling you here, you want to get like a really top-end iPhone here, you're talking about $1,500. You're talking about $1,300, something like that. But anyway, getting back to my buddy from who's in Ecuador, or he's got a place in Ecuador. He's there part-time for now. He's been saying, you'd be a resident by now. Your whole family would be a resident. If you wanted to start a little market, restaurant, cafe, a little place like that, you would do extremely well. And the cost of living is comparable and blah blah blah, and the only thing that I can say as much as I would like to give that a try, it is a risk, and it is something that, do I and my family really want to learn Spanish? I mean, I speak a little Spanish, and once I would be there for a few months, my Spanish would improve, because I took a couple of years in high school and also in college. But it would take a while to get up and running. And I just think about it and I go, I just don't know. But that's the reason why we want to take a look at Ecuador. We want to see it. We want to spend a couple of weeks there. And that's coming up sometime probably in May, maybe early June. Depends on the kids and what's going on with them and their schooling and everything like that, because Alex will be graduated by then. All right, let me see here. Well, there's pluses and minuses to every place, and the startup fee to get over there, that we would need would be, it'd be a fair chunk. It's not exorbitant like in some places, but it would be a fair chunk. But we'd be closer to my parents, and the only thing is that the kids. I don't know if they really want to do that. They got their own path, and I don't think that my wife wants to leave them behind, and I understand. So I don't know what's going to happen. We I flip-flop on a daily basis. My wife is like, we'll see, maybe, I don't know. Now, once you start talking, hey, thanks a lot there, Tom's Crazy World. I appreciate that. Listen, you guys, all this that you guys put forth financially, it helps. I'm talking about Ecuador, but I've been talking about two places that I plan on going. And I finally found out about the Mon Festival, the dates. I called a hotel that I know, that I've stayed before, and got the information. So that would be, if I'm going to go to the Mon Festival, it starts on the 16th, ends on the 19th. I don't need to be there on the first day, because really there's a lot to do there, a lot to see. I could stream, I could make videos. It's a good place to go. However, I don't know really if I'm going to be, the timing is right, and also, it's not going to cost me that much to go there, so I'm not really worried about the money. But all the money that you guys contribute, that money pretty much goes right back into it, into the travel part, and to bring in more stuff, and to keeping me afloat, keeping the engine running. So thank you. Choke D to you, Mr. Tom. Now, that's the one place. Sangkhlaburi, the Mon Festival. There's a lake. There's the longest bridge in Thailand. There are Burmese. There's Mon people. There are Thai people. There are ancient, or I don't know how ancient they are. I'm not sure, but there are sites to go see there. And the area is, like I said, there's Mon people, Burmese, Thais. It's a nice little area, and also there is the bare knuckle boxing that goes on every year. It's village boxing. But some of the guys are quite good, and you're talking about you got to have the balls to get in the ring, which most guys don't have. But these guys, they get young kids in there, they get teenagers, they get grown men who are in extremely good shape, and they're fighting all the time. So it could be that could be a good trip. Now, I've talked about the place that most of you guys do not know. This place I've talked about going. I'm going to tell you today, because I may go to this place if I don't go to the Mon Festival, although I kind of want to go. Now, it is in Sukhothai. Now, everybody knows Sukhothai. That's not a place that's off the beaten track. And there is a little, what's it called? It's a tiny little area. It's called Si Satchanalai. Okay? Si Satchanalai. And that in itself is not really where I'm going. I'm going to the district in particular because the district there is supposed to have a lot of things to see, and that is what I'm talking about. Nobody really knows about this place. And so I may go there. I don't know. But buy those t-shirts, get those cups, those hats, the whatever, become a member of the channel. And you know, help out if you can. Muay Thai is not suicide. If you know what you're doing, you know, it's like, think about it this way. It is a game that can be very painful. However, once you start learning the game, it's boxing, all this combat sports, once you learn the defense, the offense, and all this other kind of stuff, it becomes less dangerous. I mean, you can still get knocked out. You can still get hurt. But for those people who take the step, I mean, you know, every time I got in a boxing ring, every time I used to spar, with, whether it be Muay Thai or whatever, of course I was nervous. I had butterflies in my stomach. Once you throw a couple of punches, a couple of kicks, it gets a little easier. And then once you get in the zone where, like, okay, I'm prepared to take some pain. And for some people, this is something that they're overcoming. You know, you're overcoming the fact that you got to take a bunch of pain. And yes, you know, I think about it now and I'm like, no. I mean, you know, I could hit the pads or something like that, you know, and go kind of easy to make sure I don't hurt myself. But when you get around 50 or 60, it's strictly for the exercise. It's not because you want to get in the ring and fight. You know, at least for most people. Anyway, what's the other article I have here? Okay. We've been talking about this girl, this Taiwanese girl who got shaken down by the cops, and there's 6 policemen that they are in jail. They have been denied bail by the Thai court. They were arrested in connection with a bribery case in the Hue Quang district of Bangkok. The officers, who were part of a local police unit, were taken into custody last week on charges of accepting bribes in exchange for allowing illegal gambling dens. This is something different, sorry. In the area. The 6 officers had been identified as a part of a larger group of police officers who were involved in the bribery scheme. This statement added that these officers could be charged with violating the Anti-Corruption Act and could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted. I believe the officers that were arrested for this Charlene An, the Taiwanese actress / influencer who was shaken down, I believe they are still in jail as well, and they're not being let out. The court's decision to deny bail was based on the fear that the officers would attempt to interfere with the ongoing investigation into the bribery case. Wow. In recent years, Thailand has made significant efforts to clamp down on the corruption in the country, including the police force. The arrest of the 6 police officers in Hue Quang is seen as a part of this wider effort. I would say that, you know, from what I've seen, yeah, they make an effort. They've made an effort, but you really need to see a prolonged effort, not just a few isolated cases, because that's not going to do it. The case received widespread attention in Thailand, with many calling for swift action to be taken against those involved in the bribery scheme. The 6 officers are expected to appear in court again in the coming weeks. Okay, now the final article of the day has to do with the decriminalized cannabis industry, how it is continuing to boom amidst controversy. And I don't want to go over this too much, but a lot of these people are making some serious cash now. These people that own cafes are making 10, 20,000 baht per day. They're employing literally hundreds of people. This one says, this one particular guy, his company is turning over 6 to 7 million baht a month. He has 3 marijuana farms. And many believe that cannabis is a better alternative to alcohol, including myself, actually, and other drugs. The government forecasted that the cannabis industry would generate over 10 billion baht in annual revenue. However, not everyone is in favor of Thailand's newfound income stream. While recreational use is technically banned, it is widespread and remains a gray area with legislation pending in the parliament. Well, so what does that mean? How long is it going to take? Organizations like the Medical Council of Thailand and the opposition parties have challenged the liberalization of cannabis, citing harmful consequences if used for anything other than supervised medical purposes. On the other hand, the debate on the other side of the debate is Anutin Charnvirakul, Public Health Minister and Deputy Prime Minister, whose Bung Jai Thai party campaigned for decriminalization during the last elections. Thumsak Chalerm Palan Uphap, who heads the Thai Studies program at the ISEAS Yusof Ishak Institute in Singapore, predicts that the cannabis legislation will be a major issue in the upcoming elections in May. Chalerm Palan Uphap has written that cannabis was legalized hastily without proper control measures and remains a public health threat. He also raises concerns about the illicit trade and recreational use of marijuana, not only in Thailand, but among the other members of ASEAN, where marijuana remains banned. Chalerm Palan Uphap suggests it will be difficult to stop recreational use and doubts whether identification checks for customers will have any effect. Supposedly in December, they were supposed to start ID checks for Thais. In order for them to be able to purchase, they got to provide ID, but I haven't heard anything about that. To regulate the market, there is a limit on the potency of cannabis that can be sold, with only products containing less than 0.2% of THC being legal. Nevertheless, there's a long way to go in fully legalizing and regulating cannabis in Thailand. The future of Thailand's marijuana policy and industry will be a key issue in the upcoming national elections in May. So, what I'll say is they have an extremely difficult time to calculate the percentage of THC that's in edibles, weed, whatever. I don't know. Amsterdam's a different vibe. Yeah, of course. But Amsterdam is a much different vibe than here. There's a huge difference. You can't even compare it, and I would say it's apples and oranges. I don't think Bangkok is better, if you ask me, because the shops in Amsterdam tend to be much better than what they are here, at least for now. I mean, really all you need to do is find one product that you really like, and that should be enough, but people like to change it up, you know? All right, we're gonna get out of here. One thing I'm gonna do after the stream is I am going to I'm going to fly over the monorail. I'm going to fly down Lad Pro Road over the monorail. I want to get that footage. I need that footage. So hopefully that will turn out good. I've got my drone in here. Well, I mean, every time I go there, I wouldn't call myself a tourist. I'm not there to see the sights, but the last time I went was probably 10, 12 years ago. And I went as a stopover for going to America and going to a convention in Nicaragua. And I went on the way, and then I went on the way back. And I've always had a good time in the Netherlands. It's one of my favorite places. And while, you know, you might think that Bangkok is so much better when it comes to the weed industry. Listen, in the Netherlands, they got it down. They got it wired. And it's as simple as that. And Amsterdam's got its own vibe. Bangkok has its own vibe. And, you know, that's what I'll say. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, sure. Download, it's okay. Nowadays, nobody cares if you are fond of the wacky tobacco. Let's get out of here. Let me do this real quick. Okay, let's get out of here. Well, that brings up another issue. Well, eventually the drone footage will come to light. I've got a lot of drone footage, and I've got one more episode in the Vietnamese, the Bangkok to Ho Chi Minh. This journey almost killed me, or whatever it was, almost did me in. I got one more episode coming up. And then I start on the Chiang Mai footage. And then I'll have the footage from either Sangkhlaburi and the Sukhothai district. See Satchanalai or something like that. So there's some good stuff coming up. And then I got all the streams. I got my friend from Ecuador will be on the stream talking about what it's like in Ecuador and what he's done there. And then, like I said, we'll have Mark on. And also we have an insurance woman that will be on. And then we've got Mr. Tom. And of course we've got Mr. Chucky, who, you know, I speak with, you know, a couple times a week. You know, I could have come to this coffee shop. Open at 7:30. I could have come here. The Black Diamond Specialty Coffee. I like going into these kind of places. You know. Well, that's pretty small, though. I'm going to have to cross over at some point. Guitars. I don't think he's jealous in the least. I don't think he's jealous at all. Although I teased him about it. All right. 7-Eleven here. 7-Eleven here, 7-Elevens here in Thailand have started to become more like grocery stores. They don't want to lose out on that potential revenue. So this is Lad Prowl 1, 10:05 in the morning here on Sunday. Coming up to Lad Prowl 21. So we got a few blocks. Some nice chicken. Hit that thumbs up button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I gotta say, my interest in Japan has been piqued. by the Netflix series Midnight Diner, Tokyo Stories. The reason I say that is we just passed a little bubble tea place that's Hokkaido, which is a place in Japan. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if instead of flying to one place, we flew through Japan, because Alex is extremely interested in Japan and he has 4 or 5 friends from school that are Japanese. So he'd really like to go to Japan. So, and I know that 2Q Asia wants to go there. And I've only been there a couple of times. I went there once to cover the Pride fighting, one of the Pride fighting events. And I love it there. I like it. It's this great place. I don't know what living there would be like, because I know, you know, there's a big difference between visiting and living. You know what's nice right now is that it's not too hot. Not yet. Yes, my website is working. There is one little glitch, and that is the search function, which I plan on getting fixed in the next couple of days. Other than that, it's working, and I'm just trying to upload news and information about the first thing I'm going to put up is in the next couple of days. It's going to be going up is a lot of information about Thailand. But right now it is working, and I think it looks pretty good. "2Q Asia doesn't respond to your text?" Really? I don't think it's intentional. All right there, Dallo. You take her easy. It's such a nice day, and you know, I'm glad to hear that the pollution is much better today, because it's cool, it's sunny, there's a little bit of a breeze. And I'm liking it. That old woman I just passed up had a little bag on, and it has a marijuana leaf on it. Oh, that sucks. I think this is a good chance to cross over here. Massage parlor. Massage parlor next to an advertising agency. La Quinta. I used to live near La Quinta in California. It's a nice place. Okay. Here we go. Shinyo Korean restaurant. You know, I don't want to bitch, but I've lost enough weight now where a lot of the pants that I have on, they have a hard time staying up. They slide down. like I have jeans on right now, and the jeans keep sliding down. I have to pull them up because I haven't worn a belt in a while, and I forgot to put it on today. But it could be worse. I could not be able to fit into them. So, like I said, I don't want to bitch. Another massage parlor. It's open, 10 a.m. opening. What is this? Mala. This is Thai food. Oh, God. You know, the wife, I tell her, oh, I've lost this much weight. Oh, that's good. You're looking more thin now. You're looking skinny. And I'm like, come on, you know. No, really, you're looking thin. And then that's it. I don't get much more than that. You know. She doesn't want to get into my head, you know. Chim chum. Chim chum. Lap. Okay, you can see it up ahead here. The monorail. Numerous stations up here along this route. Ah, shit. I forgot to put in the memory card. Well, there goes that. I'll have to fly the drone on another day. I took it out to transfer all my Chiang Mai stuff, and I just forgot to put it back in. So, and I told myself, just put it in. Don't worry about it. Put it in now. And later, I procrastinated. That's all right. All in good time. Busy street here. This is a pet shop. I need a memory card for my ass. Is that what that is? It's hard to see. Oh, this is the pet hospice. They got a pet shop and pet hospital. Oh, brain. Well, that's true. I could use one. Although yesterday, my wife says to me, the air conditioning people are coming out to fix the air conditioner. It needs a little maintenance, you know. If you leave it on too long, it starts dripping. And, you know, I'm like, well, we should call them up. So she says, they're coming out this week. I said, okay, great. A couple hours later, she goes, did I tell you that the air conditioning people are coming out? And I'm like, you don't remember that you told me already? No. Well, you told me already. I was like, you sound like me now. Always forgetful. And there's this print shop. And I used to run. Wow. I don't know what this is. It's probably a Heidelberg. I ran a Heidelberg once, but it was only, I don't even remember what it was, but I run one of these. I think that's a Ryobi. That was many, many years ago. That was about 34 years ago. So things have changed in the printing industry quite a bit. But I always like seeing the presses and the smell of the ink. And I think Jono was involved in the printing industry as well for a while. I talked to him a short while ago. He's doing well. He's always the same, man. He's good, you know, so that's nice to know. All right, I gotta make sure I don't get hit here. We are now on Lot Prowl, Soi 5. So we've walked about 10 blocks, or I've walked about 10 blocks. Wow, this place, I don't remember what it used to be called, but basically it was a play on words. This barbershop used to be a restaurant. And it was a play on words that was like something like Isan Pounding, or I forget what the name of it was. I did a video about it many years ago. It was about Isan food, and they were basically, it was a play on words that meant, you know, pounding as in sexual, and then pounding as in of Thai food in the preparation of an Isan dish. All right, we're almost there. Why would I go and buy a memory card, Gennaro? I could just go home and come back and, you know, or just fly tomorrow or the next day or whenever. I got plenty of memory cards at home, so I don't need any more. And this one is quite large. Thank you, Patia Bob. Now this is they got these glasses places all over the place. And a lot of them come and go, you know. This is a coffee shop that sells glasses. Cuenta looks. Cuenta looks. What? Yeah, I'm not gonna get one from 7-Eleven. I mean, this is like a SanDisk Extreme Professional or something like that. You know, if you record in like 4K, you don't want some piece of crap memory card, you know. Now, supposedly, it's possible to stream from the drone. But it doesn't work very well for me so far. I know some people have said they've been able to make it work, but I haven't got it to work for more than a couple of seconds. Yes, I've crashed twice. Once because I made a mistake. I just thought I knew what I was doing and I turned the wrong way. Boom. I crashed into some leaves, and then after that, it was because I didn't know that the gimbal was the gimbal was like in the wrong position, and so the position that it was caused the drone to pull to the side. And I thought it was okay. I thought everything was okay. So once I crashed it again, I fixed the gimbal, which was just repositioning it, and I haven't crashed since. Got a pharmacy over here, restaurant. This is a pharmacy. This is a restaurant. Okay, we're coming up to Lad Prow, and we're also coming up to the market. So we'll take a little quick walk through the market, come out to Lad Prow, and we'll check out the station and all the construction. What do you cop? I think I can go through here, but I don't want to. Better we go through here. It used to be blocked off, and it would say you must have a mask, you can only go through the other entrance. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, Gennaro, I forgot to tell you some sad news for you, not for me. The Rap God in the Mall Bonkapi has been closed. And one of the things I'm working on is a video to show just what the Mall Bonkapi looks like now, and it looks like a disaster zone, man. It's really in disarray, we'll say. All right, so let's go over here. Let's take a quick look here. You can see they have the framework built. They just have to put the rest of the stuff on. Over here they have you can see over here it goes into the building across the street there. And also there are stairs that allow you to walk down from there. Okay, so you can go into that building over there and also walk down. You can see here. So that's kind of cool. And then we got this. This is the station. Yeah, there's several locations. I'm sure, we could find out. I don't care enough about the Rap God to have looked. Sorry. Maybe I should have done that, to be the consummate presenter, but I didn't. Ha Dao. Oh no, is this Ha Dao? Yeah. Great chicken there. And the only thing is I'm not eating that stuff now because you know damn well they put sugar. I did not see what you wrote, Gennaro, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna overlook it. No, this is not the closest. The closest station is right at the Mall Bonkapi. Here is Cafe Amazon, which I may go into in a few seconds. What do you come? Not much room in this one either, but there's a bit of room. Yeah. This is a little coffee stall by far. So you can see all the construction. So this is, you know, the station. I'll show the station in a second once I get a better view of it. But you can see there's the stairs. Okay, so there is the station. Right there. All this is the station, the 101 station. Farther down is the Chok Chai 4 station. And then you keep going this way, and it's the Malbankapi. It's just before the Malbankapi, and also going, I believe, going right directly into the Malbankapi. But I also have a video, like I said, about the Malbankapi and their construction and what's happening. And they're putting millions and millions of dollars into their malls around Bangkok. There's several of them, and the idea is that the mall will now become a business and lifestyle center. It will not only be a shopping area. So we're going to go into this little cafe, Amazon, because I know that Gennaro has not had his fill. They have not demolished a lot, but there are, I mean, there's, you'll see, I'll put the video up pretty soon, and you'll see, there's a large number, I mean, it's half shut. All the restaurants like Fuji, Starbucks, Burger King, Texas Chicken, Fuji, Coco Ichiban. There's a large number of restaurants and hair cutting places and stuff like that. They're all shut down. And I don't know when they're going to be open. My wife said by the end of the year, but with Starbucks, it's supposed to be in 5 months. So we'll see. Swadee Krab. Lawn. Call espresso Krab. Espresso lawn. Krab. อะไรนะ 40 ไอ้พูดภาษาอังกฤษไม่เป็น sorry นะ ขอบคุณมากครับ It's nice and cool in here. Whew. I'll say that. I mean, this place is a little bigger. Okay. They're still using paper cups. I don't know why. No idea why. Broken a little sweat here. It's 10:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go to the Malbankapi and I gotta pick up some meat. feed time for me is about between 2 and 3 o'clock. And I always like to make sure I got enough meat, enough cheese, enough eggs, and bacon. I always got to have plenty of bacon. Anyway, this is what's going on in this area. As much as I like it, I'm not opposed to living by the beach. So maybe what I'm going to have to do is I need to take a little trip to the beach, find an area that is not frequented. Wow, thank you, Gennaro. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. Choke D to you in your quest of the perfect barista. I don't know why they have like 6 girls working here right now, and there's like 3 or 4 customers. Plastic straws are not banned, but plastic bags are, which, I mean, I understand it, but it's like, listen, it all starts with where are we going to get rid of this stuff? You burn it, then there's air pollution. You put it out to sea, that's not the way to do it. So what are you going to do with the trash? Are you going to put it in the ground? That's not the way to do it. Choke D to you, Gennaro. Choke D very much. Appreciate that. I'm sure that will help. That does help. Too much light. Let's move it this way. How do we do this? As we finish up here. Coffee or whatever. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much. Awesome. Appreciate it. Looking forward to you coming back. Give you your shirt and also maybe have a lunch with you. Have a feed. When I go back home today, I'm having meatloaf. I'm having meatloaf, chaffles, with some Gouda cheese in them. What else? Meatloaf with onion and garlic in it, and bacon on top, and cheese on top. And then I'll have some chaffles, some kimchi. I am a rabid kimchi fan, and thank you to Carnivore, who this morning sent me a recipe for kefir, because it's difficult to find any that's reasonably priced that you can get around here. You can't find it in the grocery, you have to order it online. So it's better just to make your own. So that's what I'm going to end up doing, and it's good stuff for your stomach. So, but you know, I don't feel quite as strong as before. 9 days left. All right, Leslie. I do feel like I've lost a little strength, but I feel like I've gained endurance, and I feel much better. And I have weights at the house, and I have all these calisthenics that I've been doing, and eventually they'll catch up and things will start to work, hopefully. But I am 60, so, you know, when you hit a certain age, you know, you don't continue to get stronger and stronger and bigger, and, you know, that's okay, as long as I'm healthier. That's the whole goal of it. And it feels better. But like I was telling the wife, hey, it's, you know, like 30, 31 pounds. That's a lot. Especially when you think about it in terms of rice bags. 5 kilo rice bags. That's 3 5-kilo rice bags that you just took off your shoulders, off your back. Just about. And the thing is that, I mean, I see the differences in myself. And some people, oh yeah, you look a little lighter, oh, you look better, and that kind of stuff. Okay, great. But it's not so noticeable that, you know, I go see people and they're like, oh my God, you look so thin now. So what that means is I'm too damn fat. In a perfect world, I would get down to 70 kilos. I got a fair bit to go to get there. I'd drop another 50 pounds or so. But I really don't think that that's going to happen. I don't know, and I don't want to think either way. But I'm just one day at a time. I'm just taking the meals one day at a time and sticking with it, and that's about all you can do. So, but I have to give thanks to Carnival Chronicles because he is the one. Listen, I've seen what he's done. He's dropped an incredible amount of weight, and I always thought, it's diet. But once you start doing it, it's pretty easy. Carnivore. It's pretty easy because you just look at stuff and you go, I can't eat that. You see a cupcake and you know it's full of sugar. You see a piece of chocolate, if it's the right chocolate, you can have a little square of chocolate or whatever, Well, I'm glad to hear that, Wesley. I'm glad to hear that. Hopefully there will be a time, and I know this is primarily a male audience, but I said this a while back. One of the things I would like to do is go to the beach with the old lady, and I come out of the beach and I'm like freaking James Bond, baby. I'm shredded, and I'm like, in better shape than I've been in 30 years or whatever. There goes one of your baristas. I mean, that's a ways off, but I've got my goals, and so far I've hit them. In fact, probably by the time I go back, let's see, if I get to that, that'll be 14 point. I'm just guessing. But from what I weighed in this morning and how much I've lost this morning, and by the time I go back after this walk and after, right before I eat, I'll have lost about 14.2, 14.3 kilos. So for me, it's not, it's great that I feel better, but it's like a game. How high can I get that number to go, And the good thing is that I'm not drinking foo-foo drinks too much. In the past, say, 6 months, I haven't been. And all I drink really is tea, coffee, and then maybe a bulletproof coffee and a lot of water. That's about it. So, only Chucky can see the real difference. I'm surprised I didn't get more grief from the last video that I did with Chucky's pal Tao, who's the nicest guy. I kind of I braced myself for a bunch of, what, Scott went to the other team? He's not married anymore? Is that his boyfriend? I was prepared for all that, and none of it came. Actually, I think, none of it came. So, good. I'm gonna switch here. No. Mrs. Mallon wouldn't allow that. Even if I did want to do it, Mrs. Mallon would not go for that. Mrs. Mallon is old school. Both Mrs. Mallons are old school. Or all the Mrs. Mallons. Anyway, let's just let's give Gennaro a little well, he's a very, very nice guy, and he's very intelligent, and he's well spoken. So well, I care. Something about the scent of a woman that really does it, I'm sorry, that's just isn't gonna happen with men for me. There's something about this Cafe Amazon. It is a bit larger, and it's not that bad. I mean, I could see streaming from a place like this. The thing with the hospital, you know, there is the Starbucks in Waitangi Hospital, and the problem with that is that I'm going into a hospital. First, I don't like hospitals. I appreciate that they make you better, but I hate them. I hate hospitals. I don't like going into them. It conjures up bad memories. And then also, I think there's a lot of sick people here. You go in there, maybe you're going to get sick from them. So why go in if you don't have to? There is the Town and Town Starbucks, although that is, you know, that's a fair distance away. This cost me 43 baht to get here. To go to Town and Town would probably cost me more than double that. Maybe even triple. Depends on traffic and all that other stuff. And I'm always thinking of that. I'm always thinking of the cost. Because I just don't like pissing away money to go somewhere if I can go somewhere close by. There was a place that I wanted to go that actually a nurse turned me on to. And a little coffee shop, but I think it's too small. It's like a double wide shack. And it's a nice little coffee shop, but I just don't think I don't think it's gonna, it'll serve its purpose. Sorry, I was a little slow, Gennaro. God, I don't know how many people they have working here, but it's gotta be 5 or 6 girls working here. Anyway. All right, so hopefully this was a good stream for you guys. Yeah, listen, the coffee, I would say that the coffee is decent. You know, I wish I could come up with a rating system where I had various different coffees, whether from the grocery, something like Illy, Segafredo, Lavazza. I've been drinking this Vietnamese coffee that you get in the grocery. It's 95 baht for 250 grams. So it's dirt cheap. And then there's this other Colombian coffee it's called Duchess. They have this Colombian espresso that is better than the Vietnamese, in my opinion. It's 169 baht for 250 grams. But they had a 2-for-1, so I bought like 4 of them. I paid for 2 and I got 4. And I just ran out. So now I just have the Vietnamese coffee. And, you know, I haven't been spending that much money on it, but I'd like to compare a bunch of different coffees. If I was to compare Starbucks and this coffee, they're both about the same. They're both very consistent, and they're decent, but they're not great. You drink something like Illy, you drink like a Cuban coffee in South Miami, you drink a Colombian coffee in Colombia, you drink coffees like that, and they are noticeably better. Go to a Lavazza shop, have a Lavazza espresso after a nice Italian meal, and it's better than the coffee that you're going to get in Cafe Amazon or Starbucks or whatever the chain store is. And they don't serve their coffee in paper cups. It's taken a long time to 7-Eleven. Yeah, a lot of people like 7-Eleven. They like the McDonald's. I don't like the McDonald's because of the fact that I found cockroach legs and wings in the cappuccino. Yeah, I've heard of Pete's. And also, who was telling me the other day that they found... What was it they found? Oh, it was the guy from England that I was talking to. He found something in the burger. He opened up this burger and there was something absolutely disgusting. Oh, it was a pubic hair. I don't know how he knew it was pubic and not from someone's head, but he took it and he just went, oh, sorry. And he's like, give me my money back. And they're like, oh, we give you a new one. You know, they didn't want to give him his money back, which is kind of what they did with me. So I never want to eat or drink anything again at that McDonald's, because I know that that particular one serves pubic hairs in its food and cockroaches in its drinks. You know, that's why nothing beats doing it at home. And I've already had, let's see here, I've had 2 double espressos, and I had a double espresso that I turned into an Americano, into a bulletproof coffee with a sizable chunk of butter, MCT oil, and cacao, which I dumped a little bit too much cacao in it, so it tasted like a buttery chocolate coffee, which was very good, and it does the trick. It stops you from being hungry for the first part of the day. So anyway, looks like there's a lot of people starting to come in here now, and we're running out of time. This stream is getting a bit long in the tooth. So let me bid you all farewell. I'm not going to talk about, you know, what's coming up and all that kind of stuff. I've already went over all that, but suffice to say, I'm working on things. Visit my website. Please, visit my website, check it out. Let me know what you think. There's all kinds of news on there, and there's going to be all kinds of things about Thailand and then other countries. And the old information will be linked up with this new site, so that'll be good. The member section will be updated as well. And like I've been saying, we've got some condo and townhouse stuff, and then there's the Chiang Mai, and then there's, you know, there's all kinds of stuff. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, that's right, Fedor is fighting Bader too. I'll be surprised if he gets past Bader. He just can't take it anymore. He can't take the shots anymore. Fedor. I don't know how many times he's been knocked out, maybe 3 or 4. I hope he does well. If he loses, I hope he loses the decision. If he wins, I hope he knocks him out. And then that's just his last fight. Yeah, he's 46, so this is what I mean. Somebody who's 46, and he destroyed Quentin Rampage a couple of years ago. Rampage Jackson. He destroyed him. Now, Rampage was out of shape. He was fat and out of shape. And you don't want to fight Rampage on the street or in the ring. And the way that Fedor destroyed him, even when he's out of shape, says a lot. He still has something in the tank. You got to be careful. But I don't know that he's going to get past Bader. And actually, I want to watch that fight, so I may just sit here and watch it. Get done with the stream, and then I can watch it online. So that's what I'm going to do. But thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate all the support and the 10 years and 15,000. Hopefully, I'll hit that again for the second time. And yeah, thank you. That is all. Till next time, Chok Lee Leo Jerkan Mai. I will see you when I see you. Not sure when that's going to be. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Friday. It all depends on the stream with Mr. Frerick. That's Mark. So we'll see. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.